All right, I want to welcome everyone to the family tree. Just try it one more time. Put your hands together, family. Thanks for joining us and everybody showing up. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Y'all looking good today. Yeah, that's right. Everybody just take a good old stretch today. Take a good old stretch. Oh boy, it's been a long day, huh? Yes, do this little twist. You know how you do the twist? Come on, stretch out a little bit. And of course, breathe a little, take a deep breath. Blow it on out. Blow it on out. Everybody take a deep breath. And blow it out. Good, good. All right, I'm good to see everybody. And thank you again for joining us. And what we're going to do, we say, this is the place where you can ask all your questions. This is the holistic hour that we're going to go in and talk about anything and everything that you want to talk about. That's why we call it the family tree. We base it off the principles of our ancient ancestors that whenever you had a problem, you gather around the tree. So that's what we're going to do today. And hopefully we can answer some questions, because usually the closest answer is always right around you, you know, because that's your security, right? What's your social security? Say it slow, y'all. Social security. It's your family, right? So with that being in mind, we say bring your questions. There are no dumb questions. Only question you have is the one you didn't ask. Got it? Want you to feel free and open with respect, of course. We ask to everyone that's asking questions. We want to give a shout out to Prophetess down there, Prophetess Lisa. We got fingers. She's going to help us out there. Yay. She's going to be monitoring the chat box down there. And also, if you have any questions or concerns, look right down at your menu bar. If you hit reactions, where you see reactions, you can put up your hand and then you can ask a question. That's the way we're going to answer today. And we'll go into queue and we'll try to answer your question. If we don't have the answer, we'll try to get the answer for you. How about that? And if you are someone that is calling in and you missed the prompt where it said to actually how to raise your hand, just let us know and we'll try to get to your question. All right. Also, you can leave a question down in the chat box and Prophetess will try to retrieve those and we'll try to get those also. If you don't want to get on Zoom, or you know your box or your picture's not showing for whatever reason, just let us know. Okay. All right. And remember, this will be available as a chat text. We will give you a transcript of this if you email it over to Dr. Paul at drpaulherbs.com. All right, we're going to get started. And Prophetess, how you doing over there, Prophetess?
I'm doing very well, Dr. Paul and family.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, it's good to be seen. It's good to be vertical. And viewed, that's right. And it's good to be vertical. All right, we're going to get started. But hey, Prophetess, you got an event going on tomorrow. What's going on tomorrow? You want to announce it to the family?
Let me tell you, tomorrow night, I'm going to have this dynamic speaker who is coming. You don't want to miss him. He's full of wisdom, full of knowledge, full of education. He got just what you need. His name, by the way, is Dr. Paul Hopkins.
Oh, am I supposed to be there? Oh, man.
He will be at Eagle's Nest tomorrow.
Oh, my goodness.
On our virtual class tomorrow. So if this class is too big for you, then come on over to Eagle's Nest. I'll put the information and log it in the chat box. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.
Oh, yes. And Prophetess will be monitoring that one too, and she will be strict. She's going to crack. You get out of line, boy. You better know what you're talking about. All right. Yes, join us.
What time?
7:30.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Prophetess, I'm sure you'll put the information in the chat box for the family.
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you so much. That's with Reverend Halsley, and we do a piece with the Eagle's Nest, who is, so kind. That was where all of this began, with the whole men's gathering class that we did called Fulani, and all of the programs that we ran right out of Germantown. It was an incredible thing, and the entire Eagle's Nest family, I love you and support you, and thank you for supporting me and we are taking it around the world, and it started right at the Eagle's Nest. How about
Yes.
that? So we thank you, and I always like to give back, so we're going to have a good time tomorrow, and you can be part 2 to the night.
Yes. Yes.
I'm excited, y'all. As you can see, I had my herbs this morning, so I want to get started. Providence, tell me something. What you got over there on the chat box?
Well, first of all, let me just say, people are asking asking about Bill. You got an update for us?
Yes, Bill's doing well. Bill's he's getting a little secret squirrel on me. He won't tell me when he's coming back. He said, "Don't worry, Doc." He looking like a Cape Crusader or something, like a superhero. I said, "Come on, Bill, you got to tell me something." He said, "Nope, I'm not telling y'all nothing." He's probably listening right now somewhere on the alias number he's been dialed in, and he's probably listening. Because every time I go live, he'll be in the chat box talking, watch on the radio. He's on there chatting. I said, man, what is it? And then he'll log off or something. So, yes, he's doing well. Matter of fact, he gave me a last report that he said all of the, when they send you home, they give you a nursing coming in and out. And he said, I kicked everybody out. He said, I finally did good, so they let me go. So he says, I'm just getting myself in order. So Bill will be back very shortly. I look forward to seeing him very soon. And it might be this weekend. It might be this weekend. Your best, that is my best guess. I don't know. Yes.
And we will make sure that he knows that the family tree is missing him as well.
Yes, absolutely. I will send you regards. Yes.
So you didn't give us any COVID numbers.
Yep, we're going to go into the COVID numbers. I wanted to make sure that, you know that there's several on the rise. And that's from our favorite website. It's NCOV 2019. And that is our website that we go to. And if you're following us, that's NCOV 2019.live. That's our website that we go to that has all the epidemiologist reports. And it's updated in real time. And I'm actually grabbing it as of 6 minutes ago. Total confirmed cases, and this is worldwide, 501,820,072. Total deceased, 6,212,936. Total active, that's asymptomatic, 54,949,795. And total recovered, I got to give myself my own drum roll. Total drum roll. That's total recovered, 440,632,282. Y'all need to shout on that one. That's a lot of people, man. We need to get those reports.
Is that United States or all over the world?
That's all over the world. That's right, all over the world. So people are doing well. People are starting to turn it around. Yes, their numbers are going up. The numbers are going up, and if you're keeping track of things, that BA.1.2 is starting to raise its ugly head. And we had this thing called the XE, pronounced or spelled XE, which is Z. And then there's the XR, and then there's the XF. So they're watching all of the different variants that are rising. Numbers are starting to come up. And yes, we are back in a, they announced as of Monday, we are in a mask mandate again. So now you're going to have to start putting the mask back on, y'all. Whoever took the mask off, did you take your mask off? Some of y'all said, I never took it off to begin with.
No, I didn't take it off.
I don't blame y'all. See, y'all just know y'all the only one in the store with it on, right?
Yeah, I was the only one in the store today at Home Depot with a mask on.
Yes, and you look at you got to understand that it's got to be moving, and if the numbers are going up, still we're not making any precautions when it comes to sporting events and arenas. They just opened the in Brooklyn. Because remember, Kyrie Irving, they said that he couldn't come back in and all the things that was going on. But they just opened that back up for him to come back in. Now, with the mandates now, the numbers are starting to go back up. here we have variants again. So what does it mean? Doesn't change our game at all. We've been saying the same thing from the very beginning. Build the immune system. The immune system will correct itself. We say 11 times faster than you get sick. Got it? So make sure you continuously, if you need to, go to my website, drpaulherbs.com, and you can download that list of all of the top blood cleansers, and that's where we stay. And here's the key: pick one. You only need one. And that's why we say cleanse the body, and the body will correct itself 11 times faster. All right? All right, Prophetess, anybody over there? What's your first question for today?
Yeah, I got a couple, and I got one here that has been asking the same question for the last 3 weeks, and I have not gotten around to it, so she is going to be the first one.
Okay, got it.
No, should we be following standard time for the circadian rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about, I think they just pushed into... I don't know if they signed it into law. I know they were talking about bill into law about not changing our time, because they noticed that the time that people have the worst is the change of time, and that the ERs are more filled the day after they made the change. And why is that? Because people are having sleep deprivation issues. Their whole rhythm is off. People get into rhythms all day. You get into rhythms every week. Just like we do the family tree. Every Wednesday, we get into a certain cycle, and you sort of wrap things around the time that you want to do things, whether it's going to church, could be going to work, going to, your events with the family, something that you do every day or every week or once a week or once a month. This is something that gets you into rhythm. And when you break that cycle, that becomes like, oh man, what am I supposed to be doing? I'm supposed to be doing something here. I don't even know what to do now. It throws you off. So I think that, it does throw your rhythm off. I think it's the same thing as if you travel from the East Coast to the West Coast. Do you know that if you travel from the East Coast to the West Coast, they know that it takes about 9 months before you can catch up to if you start to live out there now? Just because of the cycle, because it's the digestive system that you're dealing with. Got it? It's the digestive system. So, yes, I believe it does affect the circadian rhythm. You somehow have to actually act like you're still on that regular time when it comes to eating cycles until you feel safe to start moving forward. It messes with your energy. Absolutely.
Dr. Paul, my spiritual father, he traveled every week for 43 years. And he said the key is, don't change your eating habits.
There you go. Right there. That's right. It's the digestive system. And you remember the circadian rhythm is based off of those 3 cycles. Y'all remember those 3? And thank you, Rev. Thank you, Apostle, for chopping in. He jumped in and jumped out, didn't he?
Yes. I'm going to need my dad to raise his hand as well, okay?
Yeah, I broke the rules, but
he
was going. It's called jet lag.
Jet lag. That's right. Jet lag. That's right.
Yes.
So, with that, you can do certain things to get back into that, but you got to sort of watch that hour or so difference.
Yeah, but it's only an hour. Wow.
Yep. Makes a big difference, though. Makes a big difference. All right. So what was the question?
Okay. Recommendation for healthy spinal cord disc during chiropractic adjustment.
What was that again? Say it one more time.
Recommendations for healthy spinal cord disc during adjustments.
Right. So what is it they're asking for? Recommendations for what? An herb, or are they talking about?
Cliff, can you unmute and bring some clarity to your question? There he is.
What happened is that my discs, I'm going through the decompression. And he was saying the discs sometimes get pressured. So I'm wondering what can you do to restore the disc to its natural form.
Well, that's where you'd have to have the advice of a good chiropractor. Is that what the chiropractor told you, or what is that the doctor saying that? Or
no, chiropractor. He was just telling me the situation of while I'm going to decompression, I want to, help the process. So you mean strengthening the bone density, probably is what you're talking about. Well, the disc itself, has gel because the pressure from the bone. Yep. Yep. So usually what we do to help to, it's a cellular issue, but it's also a blood issue because the bone marrow helps with cleaning out the areas of the disc
and also the areas of bone density, increasing bone density. What we usually do is the MSM. That to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. Are you doing the MSM at all?
No, that's I'll start.
That is something that we do. Methylsulfonymethane. Methylsulfonymethane. That is the MSM, which actually deals with cleansing every cell in the body. Usually, this helps with regeneration of the disc. Many people have used this, and it's helped them in the process of their recuperation or when they're using that. Go light, but also strengthen the back at the same time. Got it? A lot of heat. Are you using heat at all? Any heat therapy at all?
No, I'll start that too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Dr. Paul, my next door neighbor was a chiropractor. And he said that the whole theory of using heat first is misnomer, because when you got inflammation in your back, the worst thing you can do is put heat on something, because it doesn't do nothing but inflame it more. He said what you do, you start with ice to deal with the inflammation, and then once the inflammation has subsided, then you use the heat to loosen it up. He was a chiropractor for many years, and he also told me inversion is a good way. If you got a teeter-totter, that will turn around and decompress that spine and elongate it, allow it to because you said 40% of the people who come to your office got spinal issues.
Yeah, and it's really has to be a case by case. Usually when they use the and if it's really painful, that's where the ice comes in. Inflammation, you got to determine what is your situation. Heat is muscular. A lot of muscle issues, because when the muscles get tense, they get tight and they pull it right back out of place. Some people give the chiropractor a bad rap, say that chiropractor didn't do anything, but really what's happening after they adjust you, then you wait 2 or 3 days. You got to stretch, you got to release, you got to do some back exercises, and then release that, and then so that it can actually do, when they adjust you, you're given it ability to correct itself. So each situation is different. That's why you really got to ask questions when you're going in and get a proper analysis of your situation. All right.
Here's the crazy thing about me, Dr. Paul. I've eaten what you call, I'm on an organic diet, and I notice that when I eat and I haven't defecated, I haven't urinated, my spinal cord compresses and I'm out of balance.
Yeah.
Time I go to the bathroom and do the number 2 and number 1, everything straightens right back up.
Yeah. You can do a lot with the spine. Has a lot to do with the weight and the pressure. So the release of that is very important. All right. Thank you, Prophets. Prophets, you got another one? Thank you.
Yes. Bed sores. Someone has had bed sores for a long time. It doesn't say how long, but they said the person's had bed sores for a long time.
Yeah, there's a few things you can use for that. We have specifically for skin. It's the same things for healing of any all derma, and that's first off, we say not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. You sort of make a sort of concoction. You can do a combination of several different herbs. Number 1, for cooling, you want lavender oil. Got it? Lavender oil. For healing, and that means if bed sores, you're going to have open wounds, and that's from just laying in the bed a lot. Apparently, they're immobile. Is that correct?
Apparently.
Okay. Apparently, they're immobile. So what's happening is you have to get some things that keep moisture. When that would be coconut oil. That would be the castor oil. Notice that these are the very same things that we use for the scalp too, right? Tea tree oil. Those are for wounds, open wounds. You know what really works good is this thing called wound honey. It's called wound honey. Wound honey. And it's actually the Manuka honey. That's very good. All those things can be applied in different ways. I would have more questions for them because their diet has a lot to do with that. If they're diabetic, okay, because that means that wounds are hard to heal. So we have to watch the sugar intake, things like that. Keep them hydrated. So it's a combination of things, but that's what we put topical on there. Okay. All right. Want to go to the top now? You want to save me some when I come back to you? You got one more.
I just have one more. Actually, two more little ones.
All right, two more, and we'll go to the top. We're going
Someone
to Carmella.
has a bitter cup, because I know we did bitter cups a couple classes ago. A bitter cup, they don't know how to use it. And how soon after diarrhea should you start taking your colon cleanse and your parasite detox?
Good question. I like that second one. First one, the bitter cup. The bitter cup is the bitter wood, okay? And of course, it comes out of the Amazon. Most of it comes from, but you can get it from all parts around the world. Remember, the bitter wood is the highest of the bitters when it comes to the ones that fight off parasites. So bitter wood can be found in what they call shavings or chips. Okay, so you can find them in those also. But the cup makes it a lot easier for folks just to take the cup. They design the cup. They cut it right out the wood, make the cup, and then you just pour water in the cup. That's all you do. And you let the cup sit for about 5 to 6 hours.
Okay.
Usually 5 to 6 hours. Some people just do it overnight. And then usually the water, you remember I always tell y'all about the water. Water is what? The activator. That releases from the wood the tonic, which goes right into the water of the bitterness of the cup. So about 5 or 6 hours, you would drink that as a tonic. And that actually tastes like something like a bitter wood. You would taste it, and that's good for the liver. It is 50 times more bitter than the cinchona. The cinchona is what's used in hydroxychloroquine. Y'all know what hydroxychloroquine is, right? That is the actual medication that's used for what? For COVID.
Rheumatoid arthritis.
But there are people using it for the coronavirus also, and it's been very controversial because some people are taking it, but guess what? They're seeing the results. So it is 50 times more powerful than the cinchona tree. So the bitter cup is very good, but when you take it, you must do what? What do we do when we take any herbs? You must do what?
Plenty of water.
There you go, family. Don't take the bitter cup and just sit around and stop doing nothing. Yeah, you got to drink water. Got it? All right. That's how you would take it. And what was the other question?
How soon after diarrhea should you start taking the colon cleanser and parasite detox?
Okay, let's stop at diarrhea first. Let's start at diarrhea first, because that one kind of went right past. You got to start with the diarrhea first. What is diarrhea? When you have diarrhea, that's the effect of the body saying there is a foreign invader in my intestines. Send extra water to flush it out. And that's what you get, watery stool. Got it? So that means already there's a something's going on in the intestine. So it could be bacterial, it could be viral, it could be parasitic. Whatever it is, the body's determined it as an enemy. Now send extra water to flush it out. Doesn't that make sense? Now, after you've done that, make sure you've purged enough of it out of you. You can start right away. Whenever you've had diarrhea, the best thing for you to do is to follow up with a good colon cleanse, to continue to process it right away. I usually don't waste any time, because what you're doing is you're flushing out. So you have to put the green drink, or it depends on what stage you're in with the colon cleanse and the parasite, but absolutely the green drink, okay? So I would say right away.
Okay, well, Dr. Brown, it was some ice cream I ate for a birthday party.
There you go. See there?
It was just a little tiny bit.
It was just a little tiny bit, but it got in there and it got out fast, didn't it? Mm-hmm.
I lost 4 pounds, though.
You know what? I want to say something on that. You know, folks say, I've been on this health thing and I've been juicing and I went through a fast with my church or my organization, or I may have been in Ramadan or something. I've done something and I feel so good. And then I had one little something. And then, boy, I got so sick. I don't know what I said, oh, my goodness, I can't do this. That's because the body is like saying, hey, we ain't trying to go back there. We doing this thing cleanse. We want to stay on this path, and you'll notice that your body starts to build the tolerances and says, I don't want to go back there. I want to accept nothing but the truth. So keep that truth coming. Got it? You're starting to build the sensitivities, Frida. That's what it happens. It builds a sensitivity inside of your intestine and your digestive system. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. All right, Prophet, can I go to the top now?
Yes, you can go to the top.
May I proceed? All right, Carmela, how you doing, Carmela?
I'm okay. Let me just take you off of here. I had to put you on too. So, question, can you hear me?
Yep. Where are you? Where'd you go?
Oh, I had to change my
I
my
see
phone.
you down there. Okay, I got you.
Okay. So, question. This is about, well, first of all, I want to tell you this real quick. So I went to New Jersey to get some, this is about the water, the Crystal Geyser water that I have here.
Yeah.
So I went over to Jersey and Cherry Hill to the big lot to get some water. So I got my water, but then I ran over to Home Depot. So as I was in my trunk, moving the water out of my car, and she's probably on the phone. I don't know if it's Dottie or Cynthia. So anyway, a woman stopped me and said, oh, where did you get that water from? I said, oh, I went over to the big lots over there. She says, well, do you know a Dr. Paul? I said, that's why I got the water.
See, y'all networking with the water.
Gosh, it was so weird. It was like, oh my gosh. She was like, yes. I said, that's why I got my water, because of Dr. Paul.
Wow. See how that chance
see how networking is fun. Yes.
Networking is awesome.
girl.
See how the information travels.
Yes.
And it's one thing that I want to speak also about the Crystal Geyser. I say all the time that there's other waters, your spring water bottle at the source, but there's something about this water that even when we test it, it's higher than anything in the world is right here. It's amazing because it's coming from a lot of when we look at the mountains that it comes from, Mount Shasta, Mount Sierra, the Blue Ridge Mountains. Ours here on the East Coast comes from the Adirondack Mountains. These are some of the most sacred mountains in the United States. And that means the water is so down deep in the earth, untouched by air. I tell you, it's a winner. It is a winner. And you should see some issues. If you're facing a lot of inflammation, it's usually the bad water. That's what it is. You got to get either dehydrated or you're not moving enough. So good stuff, Carmela.
So wait, so that's not my question. My question is, this is my question. I'm having an issue with this. The arsenic in the water. Is there arsenic? Arsenic. Is there arsenic in the water? Is it in every water, or is it just a lower amount?
You got to realize that arsenic is something that we all need. There's arsenic in the center of an apple, but when it gets to when it's unnatural level, which is high levels, then it becomes toxic. But as long as it's in a natural state, it's fine. That's what they're trying to find something about it. But if you can have an apple with the apple seeds, do you know they stopped using apples in prisons for that very reason? They actually said because there was cases where prisoners were actually collecting the seeds of the apple. So if they get a whole bunch of them, they got like a whole lot of them, they mashed them into a paste and made a poison out of it. That's from an apple. So that means that they took it out of the prison system because of that situation right there. Because they poisoned the guard, and then they grabbed the keys and they got out. It was actually a big mess about that. But what does that mean? It just means that anything at its level where it becomes unnatural is going to be a problem. That's with any of the elements. Got it? Manganese is another one. Manganese is very good for balancing your pancreas, but when it gets too high, it becomes deadly. Where levels get so high in manganese, it can mess with your way you're thinking and processing information. So you see what I mean? See, they're trying to pick something out, but it's happening, and as long as it occurs naturally and it's at levels that are natural, it's fine. They're safe. Now, Crystal Geyser does have on their website. I would suggest everyone go to their website. They do a reporting, which is if you're a natural find anywhere in the world, you give a report. And that report is on the website, and it'll give a breakdown of all of the elements that are found in Crystal Geyser water. Now, remember, It's coming from the earth. So as long as there's no industry around it, there's nothing to actually enhance and to adhere to it. It filters from the earth. That's your greatest filter right there. So, yep, good stuff.
Okay. So one more question. So I was doing research off the internet. I know sometimes the internet is not good. It was saying, I don't know, maybe in 2018 that there was some type of poisoning that was getting into the water.
Yep. And then,
right?
no.
Am I right? Can you explain
No. See, I've addressed this so many times, and I know, Kamala, you're just joining us. So yeah. I've addressed this all the way back about 3 years ago, and I'll do it again today. Okay. What happened was, Crystal Geyser is a company that goes into multiple locations around the country, and like I said, it goes to the pure fines, and they own those pure fines, and they also have a different part of their corporation deals with carbonization, which is the stuff with the fizz, right? So they were caught actually in the disposal aspects of carbonization. There's rules and regulations that you have to do. Well, they didn't do that. In the lawsuit, it actually says in there, has nothing to do with the water. It was their disposable way they were getting rid of it.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. Now, there was a situation that happened in California that had to do something with the way they were dealing with the water, but that, from what I understand, that situation has been corrected. See, they're not going to let these people go anywhere and put water out on the market if it has major issues with it. That's why it was a disposable issue. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You can't beat the water. I'm telling you. When I test the water,
I have it here. You know, it's funny.
Away.
It was funny because years ago I would go to the dollar store to get some water drink, and I got this. I said, I don't want that water. It's probably tasting nasty. You know, get it from the dollar store. But come to find out, it's like the best water.
And I've been getting that water. And let me tell you, my son now is 19 years old. When my wife was pregnant, I used that water. That means it's been around in the Dollar Tree stores, and it used to be in Dollar General for 20 years. They used to sell it at Starbucks. Y'all remember that? They used to sell it right in Starbucks. And I was like, yo, ain't this the dollar store water? But see, they can't sell it for $1 in Starbucks. So, you know, that stuff got to go. Right. Good stuff, though, Carmela. Good stuff. All right. Good stuff. All right, who do we have up here? Is that Cecilia?
Yes, how are you?
How you doing, Cecilia?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, family. I wanted to go back to the Sunday conversation about the good fish, bad fish.
Ooh, the good fish, bad fish. Yes.
And I had wrote down that the tuna was a bad fish, but Sunday you said it was a good fish. So did you mean
no, you're the can. You're talking about can versus. We're talking about wild caught. When I was talking about that, that's what we gave the list of fish. That's always wild caught. That's not dealing with can of anything. Got it? So a tuna has scales also. It has fins, of course, but it has scales, but they're very small, and they lose them as they grow older. They grow bigger. They lose them. So some have scales that they lose real quickly, and then some of them keep it, but it does have one, and it is an upper swimmer. That's the key. It's the habitat of the actual fish. And yes, it does.
But we can't eat the canned tuna at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the one that has been known to be toxic. That's correct.
Okay. I also had a question about the tofu. Like, is tofu good for you, or can you eat like too much of it?
Well, tofu, you got to remember, and you got to respect and understand what it is. Remember, it falls on what? Falls on the acidic side. Okay? If you go to my website. Do you have you got the chart, right? You got the food chart. Where does it appear? Right? Remember? Let me see if I can bring my chart up.
So I just started with these tofu scrambles. They're so good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad to actually remember the balance or ratio of acid to alkaline is 4-to-1. You remember? Y'all remember that? For every 4 alkaline, I can have 1 acid. So if you do a tofu scramble, you can mix it with what? That would be like onions, green peppers, garlic,
Mushrooms,
things like that, right?
Yeah.
So that would be a nice breakfast. That is correct. That's why whenever you see that, the vegetarian breakfast, that's what they would use.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Another question I had this hemp milk.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of years.
You've had it. You had it for I
had it in this little carton. For a couple of years.
Don't do it.
Toxic.
I know what you're thinking about. Don't do it.
It smelled good. It tasted good.
Oh, you already tried. Be careful now. Be careful, because if there's a little puncture you can't see, then it can go bad. So be careful. Got it?
Okay.
Always check. There are dates on the milk, so make sure you don't go past the expiration dates. Not too far. Got it?
All right. Okay.
All right.
I got
good stuff.
Okay, I think that's it now.
All right, Cecilia, watch it now. Don't mess with it. You know when it's bad. You know when it's bad.
But it tastes fine. It tastes fine.
Okay. But you know when things go bad, it's right after you eat it, and then soon after you start having the runs or diarrhea, right?
No, I didn't get sick.
That's good. So it was probably good then. All right.
Okay.
All right, you passed on that one. Be careful though. Be careful.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we got Audrey up there. What's up, Audrey, in her favorite chair?
Yes. Hi, Dr. Paul. How are you?
Oh, we doing all right?
I just wanted to update you on my nephew. I asked you about the Burkitt lymphoma.
Yes.
And he is not doing well. Last night he was airlifted from Abington.
Sorry to hear that.
To Jefferson, and his blood count was, his oxygen count was 0. And he's on a ventilator and sedated right now. So I don't know what else. I don't know if he did anything I suggested to him. But he's young. He's 35 years old, and he thinks he knows everything. So I don't know.
Yeah. You have to just stay in. Sure, the family. You just stay and be available. If I can help in any way, we can do a phone consult. I can help in any way. But he has to be, I know you're saying that he knows a lot. He wants to do his way. You can just be there for him and helping him through the process, okay? Give him as much information as you can. Give him much information as you can.
Yeah, the doctor said he can recover from this because he's young.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're praying that he will. But I have 2 other questions.
Okay.
What do you think about intermittent fasting, and what are the good benefits of using chlorophyll?
Okay. Intermittent fasting, absolutely. It helps the body reset. You got to know what you're doing, though. Some people are not in position because they're already seriously malnutrition or they have an immune compromised situation. So they got to be careful. Before I would say anyone tries to go into intermittent fasting, I think they would need an assessment by a health professional to help them with that process, specifically one dealing with nutrition, to see where they are. I'm finding a lot of people that come through the office are seriously insulin resistant, which means that also they're not assimilating any nutrients. So people tend to now pack on pounds, and they're starting to get more bloating issues, digestive problems, and they can't process this food. See, if you can't assimilate, then you can't also get the nutrients you need, and therefore you're always hungry. You're always looking for something to eat. You're always feeling like you never got anything. That's because your villi is being blocked. You can't assimilate. So that's why we got to clean the gut before you do anything. And that's what we work with. And once we get your gut back in order, then you can start doing things like intermittent fasting. So you got to do it safely, okay? I would definitely say for anyone, especially if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or anything, get advice from or assessment from your healthcare professional before you do anything. Got it?
Also, Dr. Paul, if you're on medications, you never to take medications on an empty stomach.
Yeah, so you got to really be careful. And then also, I want to, Rev, thank you so much for bringing that up. You know, I'm hearing a lot of folks that are breaking or cutting pills. Don't cut pills. Got it? And I know there's issues with cutting pills that happen when some people like, well, my doctor told me to cut the pill, you know, and that's the half of the dose, you know, and he said cut the pill. But that's not what you're supposed to do. A lot of the pills are time released. And a time release with a pharmaceutical grade based on acid in the intestines. Got it? So that means it releases little by little as it sits in your intestines. Now you cut it open, and now you got the most toxic part of the medication right on your tongue. You got it? So be very careful. Be very, very careful. If someone told you to cut pills, and I understand why people do it, because it's also a financial tag to that. That some people say, well, you know, I can't afford my medication or I'm having issues, so they cut it. A lot of seniors are doing that. But it can be dangerous based on what medication you're taking. So always check with your doctor and make sure that's correct, because a lot of times we see a lot of people having a lot of digestive issues because they're cutting pills also. Got it?
Okay, my last question was, what do you think about chlorophyll? How do you use it?
Well, chlorophyll is anything green. How about that? That's plant melanin. How about that? So chlorophyll that you may be speaking about is probably the liquid chlorophyll that you can buy in the store. And most of that is always going to be from, it's from probably alfalfa. Where is it from? Can you see where it's from? It's usually alfalfa. Usually that's the form that usually comes in most chlorophyll, and you would just put a couple of drops inside of your water. Does it say
to put 15 drops in your water? Right.
So where does it come from?
I don't know. Oh, this is from Sprouts from Phoenix, Arizona.
Sprouts. Is it alfalfa Sprouts?
I mean, no. Sprouts the store.
Sprouts is the name of the store.
Okay, so look to see what type of chlorophyll is it?
Oh. It is sodium copper chlorophyllin from mulberry leaf.
Mulberry leaf, yes. Good stuff. That's good for your eyes also. That's very good for your eyes. Any of the mulberry, bilberry, bayberry, huckleberry, that's good for your eyes. That'll get your eyes right. Those who have issues with cataracts or glaucoma, or contrast or focus issues, things like that. That's very good for that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I got a mulberry bush right out in my yard one day. I just like, you know what? Where you come from? Wow. It just showed up right over there, started coming out. I said, I need to make a syrup out of you. And the next thing I didn't see it no more.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
All right. We got Beverly up there. Thank you, Beverly.
Hello, Dr. Paul.
How you doing? Ooh, that's a Southern accent right there, boy. Ooh, that's Southern. There. All right, Beverly. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. I have a question about the microwave oven. I know that microwaves are not good for you. Mm-hmm. But I was wondering, if I put a shungite rock inside my microwave.
No, don't do that. No.
Oh, no.
No,
you're trying to blow up the house?
Oh, it won't blow up the house. I was just wondering if it
creative, but very dangerous. No, don't do that. No. Dangerous? Even though, shungite, you know what shungite is. Shungite is a meteorite. That's what it is. It's a meteorite. And it was actually, it hit, and it got its name from Shungia, Russia. That's where it hit in Russia, and that was a long time ago. So with that, it actually is it brings things down. Boom. It's a grounder. But that's not the kind of situation you want to put it in an erratic stage of something like, microwaves. No, you don't want to do that. That's the point of the microwave is that everything stays inside. That's why you'll look outside and you'll see your You got a screen there. It looks like a little mesh screen. That's called a Faraday screen or a Faraday cage. And that bounces it back into so they can keep cooking. Now, you're going to have these waves hitting off of that stone, and it's going to be going, that could be a bad situation. That's why you can't put aluminum foil in there. You got it? Because it's going to be bouncing around. And you would still have effects like that with anything other than the meat or food that you're putting in there. Okay, so that would be dangerous. Never put anything else in there.
Oh.
Yeah, put nothing like that.
Oh, I thought she was putting it in there because she was trying to clean it. I didn't realize she was putting it to cut down on the radiation.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's talking about to cut down the radiation.
No,
you can't. No, because remember, the microwave is actually heating from the inside out. That's the way they work, yeah. And it can't bounce off of anything. That's why it's the same thing of, you're putting... maybe no. I'm just thinking of all the possibilities of what could be happening there. No, don't do it. Don't do it. All right.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No.
You got your. Apparently, you got your shungite. All right.
Put it on your laptop. Put it on your laptop. Put it on the back of your phone. Just.
Yes. All right, thank you, Beverly. Appreciate you. Prophetess, let's go down and see what you got going on down there.
I got something going on over here.
Don't forget, you said you're going to talk about the hair.
Yeah, I'm going to go into it right after I get Prophetess. So I'm going to go into these 11 things because Flo over there going to get me in trouble. All right. Let me grab my notes.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I've had a mastectomy and finished chemo. Now I've been asked to do radiation and hormone therapy. What can I do to avoid this? Please help.
Yeah, you need an assessment because there's a list of things that we have to take you through. Have them give me a call because we have to take you through a program of how, but it also determines where are you right now. Based on the treatments, it's all about the immune system. Where is your immune system now? Remember with, the chemo is a therapy based on a philosophy that by eradicating all cells, you're actually killing the cancer, but also you're killing good cells. So that means all different types of cells, including hair cells. That's why your hair falls out. But it also causes other problems. Only life begets life. So we know that the body can correct itself, but you got to get in a different philosophy, and that happens with an understanding through an assessment. So I would say have them come in, give me a call, and understanding. Breast cancer is the lymphatic system not moving. You remember I told y'all the biggest problem, pseudomotor. People are not assimilating, and also their sweat glands are shutting down. Y'all got to start moving. You got to keep it moving, y'all. Try to get your rhythm to going. If you're saying that you don't, everybody says, well, I never sweat. Say, I'm too cool to sweat. No, them days is over. You need to start sweating. You got to get it moving. That's what God gave you sweat glands for, to move, so that you can get this poison out of you. You got it? So that's what happens when the lymphatic system is backing up. So we are away from the equator, so some people have it even on an indigenous level where they should be, getting more sunlight, which affects and allows you to sweat more. But that's why, just tell them to give me a call and we'll do a one-on-one, okay?
Okay, they're going to need to do a phone assessment because they don't live in Philadelphia.
Sure. We can do a phone consult. Yep, okay. We can do it over the phone. Yep. Okay. Matter of fact, they'll get one sooner with the phone consults. I do them every morning.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
And you got a number for them, right?
I will get the number in the box.
All right. If you're listening, if you're listening by phone and you're on with us for the very first time, my contact number, this is Dr. Paul Hopkins, Natural Holistic Doctor, and I am at 1-877-377-2854. That's where you can do all of assessments, or you can go directly to my website, which is www.drpaulurs.com. Okay. All right, let's get some more folks in. All righty. All right. Okay. Let's see. What else? What else you got over there, Prophet?
Yeah, I had some, but as a question. Okay. What about a keto diet? This one's right here in front of me. What about a keto diet?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. See, keto, you got to understand, people are coming up with new ways and gimmicks for making things happen. There's only one system. There's only one game, y'all. There's only one game. They want to come up with it. But if you're keto, if you're kicking off ketones in your urine, that means your body believes you're starving. And now you're burning fat for energy. You never should burn fat for energy. And I sit there and I listen to so many healthcare professionals telling people, go ahead, burn that, fat for energy. No, that means your body believes you are starving. And then you're going to be in a crisis, because when you burn energy, you're supposed to burn carbs. That's quick energy, right? Carbs, complex carbs. That's what the fruits and vegetables are, complex carbohydrates. And that's when you're top of your game. But if you're not getting enough of the greens, you're not getting the chlorophyll, you're not getting the nuts, the berries, the seeds, and all the things that are nutrients for us as prebiotics, so that we can convert it to probiotics, guess what happens? Your body says, well, wait a minute, I'm not assimilating. I feel like we can't keep burning this carbs. We got to switch on over here to these fats. So we're going to store up fat. So now you start, man, I got this pudge here I just can't get rid of. What is going on? I can't get rid of. No matter how much I exercise, it ain't going nowhere. That's because the body's like, nope, we starving. We must be on a desert island somewhere, and our head must be cut off because we ain't getting no food. And that's exactly what your body believes. So you're in a crisis. And if you're in a crisis, you're storing up fat, and that means you're burning fat, and it's at a rate so slow that it means you're going like this. You're moving, you're up and down. Got it, ain't got it. And you're going to be wore out. But that's the people who tend to be napping all the time. You're talking to them, and they just doze, and they slipping and dipping right when they looking at you. As soon as you're talking to them, they going like this. I've had people sit in my chair where I'm doing their assessment and I'm looking at their numbers in their urine, and as I'm looking at the number, I said, "Are you tired all the time?" And I look up and they knocked out sleep. They knocked out. Oh my goodness, child, you better get some food. You better get some real food. No. I don't believe in the keto. I think it goes against the universal principles of the body. All right. All right, what else you got?
Can you recommend a whole... Questions are coming in too fast. Can you recommend a holistic colonoscopy doctor other than Dr. Blake and...
Ooh.
Wait a minute.
Y'all rough, boy. Except... y'all wrong. y'all rough, boy. I gotta watch y'all, boy.
Maybe Dr. Blake is just busy.
He don't do stuff the way he used to do it. He changed a lot of
That's
stuff.
Flo right there. What's the matter? All right.
No, I didn't.
That wasn't Flo's. It wasn't Flo's question.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Dr. Blake has taken in, and I'm gonna, Dr. Blake and I, I know him very well because he's actually on once a month. He's on WRD just before I am, and I had a chance to talk to him, and he's doing the hydrotherapy version of, of course, you got the fluid that actually gets you in the prep that you have to take. Well, instead of doing that, he does a hydrotherapy, which is very close to what we do on this side, on the holistic side, as a prep, which we do as a colonic. So that I don't know anyone else that's doing that. I'm just going to be honest with you. Dr. Blake is the only one that I know that's doing that version. There may be others. So you just have to call them up and go with someone that's doing that. We say on our side, cleanse every change of seasons. So we keep it moving. Got it? So yes. We do colonics only when you actually absolutely have to get them done. But you got to get proper instruction. If y'all want one, I can give y'all Dr. Ethel. Dr. Ethel does the colonics. The colonoscopy is something if you're a meat eater and you need to find out and scope and see what's going on. If you have polyps, that's another thing. But when it comes to colonics, you want Dr. Ethel Wilson. Got it? And I think we do have her Prophet, did you have her number over there?
No, I never. No, you always were supposed to be looking for it. But
oh boy. Okay, I was always supposed to be. Okay,
I'm sorry.
all right.
And Denise,
I'm in trouble now. Oh,
no. Denise, I have looked for Dr. Paul. Can you give us the author of the Melon research? I looked for it last week.
Sure.
I didn't find anybody's name.
Yeah. You can go to there's a website. Well, which one do you want first? The actual the actual authors? Is that what she wanted first?
I believe so.
Or he were?
I just put a link in there for the book, but they want the author's name, and I didn't see one associated with.
So you did see where you can order it, though, right?
I saw a PDF.
A PDF? Okay, yes. Yeah, the PDF may be in there.
I put the PDF in the chat box. That was like 150 pages.
Yeah, that's it. That's one of the books. There's actually a double book. It's a book 1 and book 2. So yeah, you may find it on a PDF. It may be out there. The reason why you may not find it is several different authors that are on this, because it was a multiple list of people, research project, right? It was compiled by the main one was Dr. Rodolfo, and that's Rodolfo Alessandro, Alessandro. Last name Nicholas.
Oh.
He has 3 names, right? I know, Rodolfo Alessandro Nicholas. Okay, and that was done August 1st, 1920. That will help you enhance your search. Okay.
You said
1920. So he's a professor of organic chemistry at Naples, Basel, Rome universities. Okay. And that should help the search right there. They should be able to pull it up with that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, family. And I see Dr. Ethel's number up there.
Yeah,
so.
She's in there a couple times. So.
Yeah, so thank you for saving me, y'all.
Yes.
Because I don't remember. I need a nerd for that. I don't remember that one. All right, let's see. Give me one more, and then I'm gonna go up to the top to Janice up there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back up here and see what we have.
You better be.
You know, time flies, y'all. You see how time flies? It's almost 8:30. It's almost 8:15. 8:30.
Yeah, just 8:15. Yeah.
Time flies. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay, go to the top because I can't find any questions right now.
Okay, get a couple lined up for me. Janice, we got to go in line, Laverne. You're down there. I got you. Janice, go ahead.
Good evening, Dr. Paul.
How you doing?
Good, good. I came to you last month for the first time, and I love the green drink. I tell you, it's changed my life.
Wow, thank you so much. Yes, glad to hear that.
My eating habits have changed. It's just amazing. So thank you for that.
Excellent.
Can you tell me about nutritional yeast?
Sure. Sure. The nutritional yeast that I recommend is by a company called Lewis Lab. And nutritional yeast, this specific one, is highest in the top of the amino acids, which is the proteins and building blocks of the cell. A lot of people are missing these, whether essential or non-essential amino acids, and that's when they grow them. This specific company grows them on beets, which is one of the best foundations for doing it. And they're out in the Netherlands, which they got away from certain parts of Europe that were dealing with, the GMOs and the chemtrails and things like that. So this company is bona fide the best in nutritional yeast. You can apply it to soups, salads. You can put it to your green drink. This is when someone's trying to really get definition, when we deal with the weightlifters or somebody who's trying to gain weight. Very rarely people say it, but some people need to gain weight, or they feel like they need an appetite, to adjust their appetite and get that in order. That's what it's for. And it usually has a cheesy kind of taste to it.
Right.
And but I would say some people, they say it can cause a little bloating though, so be careful. You know, some people say when they take it, it's so nutritious that it gains them weight a little bit too fast. But it's very, very nutrition. Okay. I'm talking about very, very nutritious. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Janice. And it's called Lewis Lab. You may have to go to directly on the web. I would order directly from the website. Got it? Or if you call the herb stores, they may be able to order for you. I don't know too many people that carry it anymore, but that is the absolute best one. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right.
Amazon has it.
But it's always best to go directly to the website. Go directly to the main ones. Yeah, because you don't know how long. If there's a third party, it may have been sitting for a while. They may stored it up. You don't know what's going on. Get it directly from the source. All right. All right, thanks a lot. Hey, Janice, quick question. Where'd she go? Where'd she go?
Here
Okay.
I am.
All right. I want to say, can you call my buddy, and we're doing testimonies, and we would love to get a testimony from you for the green drink. Can you give all right, Dodd Stocker Edwards.
It's in the chat box.
Go ahead, Providence, you bad. I'm gonna tell you, I can't mess with you. I ain't messing with you. Your fingers too fast. They too fast. I just picked up my phone. Already there. Already there. All right, I got you. I'm not messing with you at all. You read my mind, ain't she, y'all? She like,
as soon as she started talking about how her eating had changed and all that, I'm like,
I couldn't say cat. I couldn't say moo. I couldn't say boo. She fast, boy. That's super fast right there. Thank you, Prophet. Appreciate you. All right, give me the folks you got up there. You got some more folks?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Can
you use a copper vessel in lieu of the bitter cup?
They're doing two different things. Okay. Remember, copper is for circulation. They're both good. Of course, they help the body. But if you're taking water and you put it in a copper vessel, that's for circulation. That stimulates the ability for your body to now. Remember, whenever there's gray hairs, it usually is a sign of lack of copper first. That's usually what it is. And that's why you want to grab something like a copper vessel. Put that Crystal Geyser right in a copper vessel, and
that's
good
what I
want
to talk about.
All right, Laverne, I hear you now. She said
Excuse me, but
okay, Laverne, go ahead.
That's
go
what
ahead
I want to talk about.
Okay.
I use a glass teapot, it's a Pyrex or whatever. It's and that way you can see your water when it boils. And I notice when I boil the Crystal Geyser water, there's a white sediment in the bottom of the pot. What is that?
That's the minerals.
You should boil them all out.
That's the minerals. You're looking at the minerals. That is actually what it is. Yep.
So I thought there was minerals in all water.
Not all waters. Not if you purify, filter, reverse, or distill it.
No, this is the Crystal Geyser. I boiled it in the pot, and it's
but I'm answering your question though. You said you thought it was in all waters. It's not in all waters. If you purify, filter, reverse, or distill it, you pulled it out.
I see.
So that's what you're missing with other waters.
I see. Thank you so much. And one more. Okay. I recently was told that I have arthritis in my ankles, in my lower legs, ankles. And what foods other than what food should I eat? Herbal foods for that.
Remember, I want everybody to say it as I say it. Whenever you got inflammation, the first thing that comes to your mind is acid.
Okay.
You're in a state of acidosis. So what do you got to do to counter that? What do you have to do? You got to get what? Alkaline.
Right.
Got it? So you have to counter it. See, this is a polarity charge issue that people are having. See, remember, if you eat dead foods and stuff like that, and we can't, it's an unfair and a fixed fight. Because we have foods and pollution around us. We're in the city. We're exposed to chemicals and things that are hitting our skin and our face and all this other stuff. So all of that stuff has to be processed through your liver. So if your liver, and I'm going to tell you, everybody that comes to the office, I tell you, we see so much pollution in the liver because the liver has to process all this stuff. So you got to clean the liver, number one. Got it? And number 2, you got to stay off the acid-forming foods. Get alkaline. You got to have a kickstart. Kickstarts would be things like, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, they're food for the soul. Things like the green drink, number 1. Green drink's number 1. Number 2 would be like a Himalayan salt. You could take a pinch, put that right in your water. That sparks up. MSM, we said methyl sulfonyl methane. That's organic sulfur. That bumps it up. Coral calcium. These are quick hits right here. Coral calcium. Things that when you find yourself in a state of acid, you say, I need to get alkaline real fast because I'm feeling my joints aching. That's your sign. That's your body sending you a sign. Vern?
All right, thank you.
A little bit.
So I have a relative who was a RN, and she was telling me about bitter melon. Have you heard that?
Absolutely.
It looks like a cucumber.
Yeah.
But you peel the skin or you boil it.
Yeah.
And drink it down.
There you go, girl. That's right. Yeah, bitter melon is used for diabetes. It's very good for regeneration of the pancreas. It's also a blood cleanser, but it's good for balancing out sugar issues. You remember when you have issues with the pancreas, there's 2 things that you have to watch out for. Because when the pancreas shuts down, because of dehydration, usually concentration, it stops making 2 vital nutrients, magnesium and chromium. And that's what the bitter melon is good. It's very good. It's far of the bitters. Remember, bitters regenerates the pancreas, starts to allow you to start making insulin again in proper balance. Also, it's good for cravings too. If you have issues with cravings, you can get it also in a liquid form. And you can take it like a tonic.
And that's chromium, you said? Chromium?
Yeah, magnesium, chromium, and another one I would say vanadium. Those are your 3. Vanadium. Those are your 3 that are decreased when you have too much concentration in the pancreas. Yeah. Vanadium. So those are your 3. Okay, Laverne, I'm glad. So all right. All right, Providence.
Yes.
What you got?
Someone traveled and was a singer or is a singer. They were a soprano and now they are a tenor. They've developed nodes on their throat. Trouble transitioning between the soprano and the tenor. What can they do besides throat coat tea?
Yeah, good stuff. All right. I definitely know about this area. When you're singing, I had this wonderful teacher. She was a black opera singer. She was bad too. Woo! Gail Thomas. Anybody know Gail Thomas?
That name's familiar.
Gail Thomas. Boy, I miss her. She passed on a few years back. Well, about 2 years now. But she was a sweetheart in so many ways, and she used to always deal. Matter of fact, the major labels used to bring everybody to. She right here off of Lincoln Drive. She lived right off of Lincoln Drive. And major labels used to send their entertainers to her right in her little house. I used to call her house the gingerbread house. Felt like when you go in there, you felt like kicking your shoes off and just laying on the floor or something. I mean, it was that comfortable. And she used to teach how to, this method called Emmanuel Garcia. Emmanuel Garcia was a Spaniard. And he was one of the greatest singers of all time. And he was the first one to stick a scope down his throat to actually see what was going on. This is deep.
His own throat?
He stuck it down his own throat with mirrors and everything to see what was going on with the larynx, which actually looks like this. It looks like this. So what he discovered is that when people get the nodes on their throats and things, it's because they're singing in their throat and not on the voice box. You got to sing on the voice box. Everybody take your finger real quick. I'm gonna show y'all real quick. Take your finger. I'm not gonna make nobody sing. Y'all looking at me like, oh, I ain't singing. No, go ahead, take your finger and feel your Adam's apple. From women, you got to press a little bit harder. Feel the Adam's apple, take that and go just like this. See how my finger going across? Put it right over that right there. See it? You feel it? Now I want you to go, ah, 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 ah. You feel it? I didn't say sing. I said, ah, 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 ah. You feel it? You should feel it. That's your voice box. That's your voice box right there. That's where you project from right there. So when you are yelling or screaming, or you go to a ball game, or you're at a function and you get loud, you come off of that and it goes into your throat. That's what causes nodes. Got it? That's what causes nodes. So he found this out, so he started teaching people to stay on your voice box. Wherever you want to start singing, go back to your voice box. And that brings you back to your point. Got it? I say that because I sound like a singer over there, and I just want to make sure they're on point. Now, moving forward, you know, they'll do surgery where they'll pull those polyps off of there, but they're never going to sound the same. You know, they're always going to have those issues. Like, was it he or she? Was it she?
It's
brother, sister. Okay, maybe they want to say, but no matter. Once you do that, it starts to now sound a little different. That's like when Rod Stewart had his done, George Michael had his done. They never sound the same. Also, Whitney Houston, remember? Didn't sound the same. Got it? So here's what we use. Not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. There's certain herbs that are used for the larynx. One is nettle. 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 Stinging nettle is its official name. Stinging nettle. Okay? That along with alfalfa. Got it? Alfalfa. Cat's claw. And also devil's claw. Got it? Those are your combinations of herbs that actually help to clear off the larynx. Now, I'm going to tell you also the old Indian wild cherry bark syrup is excellent for that. And that will help to get strength back in there. But if you're talking about what brings the dynamics back to the singing, they have to start projecting off of the voice box. Stop using more of their throat and use more of their voice box. See, if you stay on your voice box, you can never lose your voice. It's impossible to lose your voice. That's like you're speaking on regular terms. You ever wonder why, if you speak in normal, you never lose your voice? It's only when you start to do what? You start talking for a long period of time, or and it gets off the voice box. So that's what she used to teach, and I got it. One day I'm sitting there, and she goes over these things, and I'm like, 8 o'clock in the morning, I don't even want to be there. And you're sitting there, and she's like, you got to get this, you got to get this. So one day, it just popped in my head. I said, I got it. She says, no, you don't. I said, yes, I do. I got it. I understand what you're saying. It was like a revelation that hit me. And you'll get it, but you got to keep your finger on that area, and then that's where you project from, and then you'll never lose your voice. It's impossible to lose your voice. It's like weightlifting for the voice. It's a technique called the Emmanuel Garcia. You can look up Emmanuel Garcia technique. It's very rarely taught, and he had some of the most phenomenal opera singers in the world. Matter of fact, he had a group called the Amazing Garcias, the Fabulous Garcias is what they used to be called, and they were in opera houses when there were no microphones. He would just, and they could sing, and they would outsing everybody, and they were like, wow, they're killing it. They had no. That's when they used to build those big cathedrals. That's why they build them, so they can reverberate all around the wall, like the concavenesses of it and things like that. So that's why it's called the Emmanuel Garcia technique. If you're looking it up, okay. All right, so those are the herbs.
And you said the voice box sits above the Adam's apple?
Right above, straight across, right above the Adam's apple. That's correct. And if you go, that's what brings it back. It brings it back to center. So if somebody getting on your last nerve and I hear y'all going, hold up. All right, go ahead, prophetess.
Okay, my niece has sickle cell. She's 6 years old, and I was told that, okay, y'all keep giving me these words I can't pronounce, making me look silly. It's M-U-I-C-E-L.
Okay, wait a minute. You blanked out again. What was it?
It's M-U-I-C-E-L.
Mucil, right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, she was told that mucil herbs would help with her condition. My question is, do you know a couple of names? Do you know a couple of names as well? I'm not sure if they're asking.
Yeah, what they're talking about. What she's talking about. Yeah.
Camille, where are you?
Okay, I think we don't have to go there. We can. Okay. I can still answer that question. Okay. Yeah, there's many things that whenever you're talking about sickle cell, that's when the cells are sickling, of course. And this also rolls in combination. And I always say if someone's been diagnosed with sickle cell, also test with this thing called G6PD enzyme deficiency. All right, they kind of roll hand in hand. But it just means that the environment in which the cells live in, the cells are either sickling, and which can be painful, or they're malforming. So what we want to do is, no matter what the situation, they'll say that it's a genetic disorder, which means the proteins are not building, things like that. When we say we know we got to clean the blood, got it? That's the key. You got to clean the blood. And I can definitely speak on this heavy because they actually told me, they said, you have G6PD enzyme. And I didn't figure this out they said it when I was 7 years old. I didn't figure it out till I was way as an adult. Father told me riding down the road, something's wrong with your blood one time. I said, what? And that didn't make sense because I was always tired and fatigued. So you got to clean the blood. They need an assessment. But we got to find the right one. How old is it? How old is the child? 11?
No, she's 6.
6. Okay, yes. We got to walk them slow. So you got to do things that help them. So she would need an assessment. Have her come on in, and then we can run some tests on her. Okay.
Okay.
But they have to stay. She has to stay. Right? Am I correct? Yeah. Okay, she has to. You gotta keep the water, hydration. Stay off the sugar. No processed sugar. I know it's hard because when they're young like that, they're tempted by all their friends and the whole thing. But you gotta keep them away from the sugar. Refined sugar, refined salt, refined oil. They have to be on a strict diet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go up here, Prophetess. I'm gonna grab some more folks. Sharice. Hey, Sharice, you upside down. What's going on?
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Sharice.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
No. Where are you?
Okay. Yourself off of mute.
You got to take yourself off mute.
There you go.
Now you go.
Now you went back on again. Now you're off again. Make up your mind, Sharice.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, I have a quick question. With the green drink, I know you said that it's like a meal replacement. And I don't always like to eat. So I've been taking the green drink. But I also wanted to know, is it good for me to do the green drink 3 times a day and then do like a good and workout, like do cardio? Is that the same thing with as far as like just like eating food? I just want to make sure I'm going.
Yeah, sure. Remember, it is a meal replacement also, but it also can be a supplement to what you're already doing. Got it? So if you're eating, you can add it to your meal. So it's all good. It's win-win-win. You can't go wrong because it's food. All right. Somebody got to go on mute. Somebody mute. All right. So yes to all the questions that you asked. We say if you believe that you have a gut issue, if you feel like you're pulling on the pounds and you can't seem to get rid of, even when you're working out, that probably is insulin resistance or some ability where you're not assimilating. So that's why we usually say 30 minutes before a meal changes your life. I'm telling y'all, 30 minutes, get your gut in order for the food that's about to come. So even if you say, I don't know about that lunch, I don't know if I got everything, you got it with the green drink. Land and sea. That's the key. That's what makes it work. So if you want to get that green drink, go to shop.drpaulherbs.com. You can order it, or you can go to your local stores that we recommend, which is the Pollock Herbs and Vitamin Center on Broad Street, or Wayne Avenue Health Food Center, which is in Germantown. All right.
That information is in the chat box.
Okay. All right. I knew that. I knew that.
Dr. Paul, what about high blood pressure?
Okay, I'm gonna get you, Sydney. I'm gonna get you. I got to go up to the top. I'll come back to you. Okay, Terry. I got Terry on the line. Terry. Hey, Terry.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Good evening.
Good evening.
Couple questions for you. What can I take for a pretty nasty vaginal infection?
Well, definitely you got to start to. You said vaginal. Is that correct?
Yes, I don't want to take the Monostat 7 and all the pills that they give you.
Yep. So, we start with cleansing. Remember, staying off certain foods. Top 10 toxic foods. Got it? So, whenever the infections of any kind in the body, we say not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. The herbs for that would be Goldenseal Roots. Okay, Goldenseal Roots. Goldenseal root can be taken internally, but it's a protocol involved with it. But, this is just in general. I don't know your situation. You would have to come in, and I would have to, test your urine and things like that, and we can actually tell exactly what's going on. But definitely you would, for any infections, Goldenseal, the root, not the herb. Got it? And when you take it, there's a protocol that's taken with that. It's 2 weeks on.
I know you were still here.
As recommended on the bottle. 2 weeks on. 1 week.
Mute your phone.
Yep, I got her. 2 weeks on. 1 week off.
Okay.
2 weeks back on, and then you quit it for a whole month. Now, there is a process, ladies, that and this is done for, and this is traditional. This is our ancestry and traditionally for women. Back in the ancient times, they used to use the herbs and use it as a douche also. Got it? So not only are they taking it as a tea or a capsule, which is like a, now you can take the capsule, but you can take a douche compiled of herbs that do the same thing. So you would use, and I'm just going to give you the formula. Now, Dr. Ethel comes in here with this because I believe that a woman should dress women when it comes to these issues, of course. But I can lead you in that direction of what goes in there. Things that deal with cervical, polyps, cysts, fibroid tumors, all go in that area of douching. And they would use certain herbs, and these are the certain herbs that were traditionally used. And there's a lot of different ones, and it may be in different combinations, but here's just some of them. Goldenseal root. Okay, I mentioned that. Red clover. Pau d'arco. Got it? Which is the bark from a Brazilian tree. What's that? I said what? Red clover?
Red clover, pau d'arco.
Pau d'arco. Burdock root. Got it? All right. Burdock root. Cleavers. Those are just some of them right there. Got it? And sometimes we can add like a horsetail, which is used for like infections and things like that. Got it? So those are some of the combinations that are mixed into a tea. Okay, you steep that in a tea, and you can use it as a douche for getting through that process. Got it? That's for infections, but also a lot of other issues that you can do. Call Dr. Ethel. You got Dr. Ethel's number there. She can help you with that process. Got it?
Yep.
You got it, Terry?
I got it. Couple more quickies. The shungite thing, I did get one of those, but mine only goes over my chest. What can I use for what should we use for the house or if we're going out?
Yeah, you can get a shungite stone. Yep, shungite stone. Yep. Okay. Yeah, shungite. You remember, you're saying it doesn't cover your chest, it does. If it's on you, it's covering you. That's it.
Yeah, but what about if I'm walking outside or I'm going shopping or something like that? I don't have protection at that point.
Okay, where is it around? You around your a necklace? You mean?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. They have necklaces?
Yes. Yep. They have necklaces. They have bracelets. They have belt buckles. They got everything. Yeah, just go right online, and they'll have a lot of different ones. Those are grounding stones. So yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard of anything called tapping for weight loss?
Tapping. We do tapping right here at the end of the show. At the end of the show, we do tapping. Yes, goes back into an ancient concept of levels of things like qigong, tai chi. It's energy work. So what you're doing, they're tapping. Children are using it in the Midwest to calm the children down. So when the children, they're doing for like a certain period of time, they're noticing that it stops them from jumping around. It calms you down because it's moving the lymphatic system, but it also is triggering all those points in the body that actually stimulate all the organs in the body. So tapping is very good.
Yeah, I've seen you do it at the end, and I asked a question like, "What the heck are you guys doing?"
The heck are y'all doing?
never got a response. All right, one last question.
Good one, Terry. Terry, what the heck are y'all doing in there?
Last question. Sinus infection. I've had it for like 2 weeks now. What can I take?
Yep, I can hear it. That was my next question for you.
Yeah.
I hear it. I hear it in your sinuses. Remember, watch the dairy products. Got it? No dairy. Any dairy? Cheese?
Nope.
Yep. No milk, right? Okay. So what we use, there's a couple of things that you can use, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. This is where I go into things like black seed bitters tonic. Y'all heard that? Black seed bitters tonic, not the oil. You're gonna find there's also one called black seed bitters, but it's a tonic that you could take. Now, you may need to add this, Terry, to your juice. Okay, you can also add it to your green drink. Got it?
Okay.
Got it? And it's very, very powerful. It's used for things like catarrh, which is what you sound like. That's what you're not. Well, when there's an infection in the mucous membranes, that's called catarrh. Catarrh. So what happens? That starts to bring it out because the black seed bitters tonic, which you can get from most of the herbal stores that we recommend from, that will help you. And there's also one that even has this black seed bitters with moringa. That is very, very good. Okay. And also the old Indian wild cherry bark syrup with Goldenseal. And then I would add a Goldenseal to that. Got it? See, you have to overwhelm this thing. If there's any other last one, it would be the oregano oil. Okay, so that combination is where you want to rotate. You want to rotate in those herbs. They're all upper respiratory, sinus, things like that. Make sure also you're not having any neck pains, right? No neck pains, right?
Oh, I can't guarantee that.
Okay. All right, Terry.
What was the
I'll talk to you later, Terry. Because definitely you got to get the neck. Because remember, the neck has a lot to deal with feeding, the sinuses, So make sure your spine, your cervical spine is correct. No slumping, right? Got it?
Yeah. What was the old Indian something or other?
Yes, old Indian wild cherry bark syrup. It changed the name. It's Dr. Tiara's cherry bark syrup now. So it may have changed it, but if you just say old Indian, everybody knows about old Indian. So don't worry about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Terry. Good hearing from you, Terry. Get well. All right.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Mike. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, Doctor?
What's going on, y'all?
All right, bro. Look, last week you mentioned how implants with metal is dangerous, and I've been wanting to know what's a good alternative, Doctor.
Yeah. Not metal. That's it. Because it's going into, you got to really watch that, man. When you're putting metal in the body just doesn't recognize what it is. And that's the problem. You can't go anywhere around with that. It's something that doesn't belong in the body. And infections, issues with, people have had a lot of problems with that stuff. So, so quickly to do it, people say, hey, just go back to dentures, regular dentures, in ways that just not dealing with titanium and metals and stuff like that. And you got that stuff inside of you. So now it can cause autonomic issues because you got metal in your body. So be careful with that. Be careful.
Yeah. One more thing, Doc. Remember I asked you about this, the neem, but the sodium lauryl sulfate.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You mentioned that I could take. I have oregano oil. Could I use that? I use it as a rinse.
Now, are you saying? So, what is the question about the sodium lauryl sulfate, though?
Yeah, it's in the neem toothpaste.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah, you got to make sure it doesn't have it. That's correct. Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, since unfortunately I have this, and I do still brush my teeth, what's a good way to counteract any effects from this
sodium lauryl sulfate?
Yeah.
So, definitely we would get one without it. I would definitely use something like neem. Neem and also oil pulling is what comes to mind. Okay, so neem and oil pulling. Yep, sesame oil, and just keep that in that rotation. See, neem is actually both antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antiseptic, and parasitic. All five. It's all five. So, so that's why you can't go wrong. But just make sure it's the neem without sodium lauryl sulfate or fluoride. Got it? Okay.
Right. Unfortunately, I have that already, but that's what I was asking about the sesame oil. Do I rinse or gargle with that after using it? Or do I just get rid of it?
How long do you pull for? How long do you pull for?
I haven't for a while, Doc.
Okay.
After you mentioned that for me, I'm like, I haven't touched the neem. I'm ready to throw it off now because.
Well, that's just that brand. There's other brands that have it without sodium lauryl sulfate. You got it? Yeah. There's other brands that have it without it. So you just got to get a more natural version neem, or that one that has neem in it, because there's a lot of different toothpaste out there. Okay.
Okay. All right, guys.
All right, man. Good seeing you, Mike. Mike Thomas over there from my men's group, men's gathering over there. Mike. Good seeing you, man.
Can I give Mike a toothpaste with neem in it made by Radius, Radius. It has neem and aloe, mint aloe, Radius.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Dr. Paul, when I went in the hospital, I was diagnosed. I was put in renal failure, and they were going to put me on dialysis. I was at 5.7. And I got in contact with you after I came through this episode. And you put me on matter of fact, I got some in my hand as we speak. And you said crawl, walk, run, celery juice. I'm in my second week. And my numbers is at 2.8.
Woo! That's awesome. That's wonderful. Excellent. So you remember, the celery does wonders, y'all. Let me tell you, celery does wonders. It's striated energy, which means it's straight ahead. So it cleans very well. So you get some organic celery, that's what it'll do. All right.
You told me, Dr. Paul, you said with allopathic medicine, they're treating all the symptoms, but they're not treating the root. The root is I have a clogged villi. And if I restore that villi, all the other stuff goes away.
That's right. Okay. Thank you, Rev. Appreciate you, man. Always good testimony, man.
Yes.
Always good. You gotta call Dad too, Rev. You gotta go. I want all y'all you got a testimony. Janice, did you get that number also?
Yes, I did.
Okay, give Dad a call. That's Dad Stocker Edwards. That's my buddy. That's my partner. All right, thank you. All right, I'm going to give now the 11 types of alopecia before Flo over there throws something at the screen at me for not going over the 11 types of alopecia. I want to go this and close out with this because this is the most important type of things. People think there's only about 2 or 3 variations of alopecia. But no, there's actually 11 variations of alopecia. Did you know that? So here is I'm just going to go down the list, and I'm going to maybe break down next week. We can come back to some of the other things that that we can go into, maybe even finer detail with that. Okay. So first one would be, of course, the regular alopecia areata. Got it? Areata, spelled A-R-E-A-T-A. And that's where you start to see an area or a patch that's usually on there. That's usually T-cell problems. That can also affect eyebrows too. When the eyebrows start to miss a little bit. All right? Or you start to lose the eyebrows. Now, it actually attacks the hair follicles, and that's what's happening. So that's the first one. And then there's alopecia areata totalis. Totalis. T-O-T-A-L-I-S. Look at the names, how we're giving the characteristics. We'll give you sort of the characteristics of what it does. So totalis is being total loss on the head. Got it? On the head. Total loss of hair on the head. Then there's alopecia universalis. Universalis means universal, goes all over the body. That includes public pubic hair, axillary, which is under the armpits. That can be your legs or other parts of the body, in the areas anywhere on the body. That's universalis. U-N-I-V-E-R-S as in Sam, A-L-I-S. Got it? All right. Y'all got it?
Yeah.
All right. Next one is alopecia diffuse. Diffuse. D as in David, I-F-F-U-S-E. Now, diffuse is kind of what they call incognita. Got it? And it's not patches, but just very thin. You see, like, people's hair just starts getting real thin in certain areas of the scalp. That's what that is. That's called diffuse. It looks like patches, but it's very thin. Okay, just thin. Okay. Okay, there's also ophiuchus. Oh, and I'm gonna spell this one. I know. I'm sorry, bro. I ain't gonna spell that. All right, O-P-H-I-A-S-I-S. All right. All right, that is the sides of the head and also the back of the skull. People lose the sides of their hair on the sides and then the back of the head. All right, that's what that is. Okay, and that's also a form of the alopecia areata. Got it? So all of these are variation that just shows the characteristics of them. Flo, you still listen? You still here?
Yes,
all right, you get them now. Don't let me come and say, "Oh, I didn't hear them." Nuh-uh, this is it. All right.
I'm taking notes.
Okay, next one is alopecia barbe. Barbe sort of kind of reminds you of what? The barber. Got it? So it's B-A-R-B-A-E. And that's dealing with mustache. This affects a lot of guys, of course. Men with mustache, beards, or patches in the beard that just won't grow. And men, y'all know what I'm talking about. In a certain part, you got a full beard, and there's like one little patch that just won't grow. That's a form of alopecia. Got it? And it's called barbe. Barbe. Okay? All right. Next one is called androgenic alopecia, and I'll spell that properly.
I'm making these words up.
I said, Doc, you making this stuff up? No, I'm not. All right. Androgenic. A-N-D as in David. O-R. Excuse me. Let me scratch that. Let me start all over. Back it up. Let me stop. I'm getting ahead of myself. A-N-D as in David. R-O-G as in go. E-N-I-C. Got it? Now, this is the most popular of all the alopecias when it comes into pattern hair loss. You know, when people and women have hair grown in groups. See, hair grows in groups. It's usually in pairs of like 3 or 4. Got it? And what's happening is this is where male pattern baldness or female pattern baldness comes from. So the stats are somewhere in the neighborhood of about 50% of the men over 50 start to see this, and about 50% of women over 65 start to develop this right around that time. And this is sort of like it's called androgenic alopecia. Got it? Thinning on the top or the middle of the head, and it just sort of like they start to come out by the string. So it's like thinness. A lot of people have, or women may get this when they're having issues with the thyroid. You know, thyroid imbalance, hypothyroidism, hair, skin, nails, things like that. So those are some of the things that we do. Got it? All right. Next.
Dr. Paul, my mother had that, and what she had it from was every time she see a gray hair, she was in that dye.
Yeah, yep. That's right. Okay, now this one is a long name. Okay, I'm just going to abbreviate this one. All right, I'm gonna save Prophetess over there. So it's CCCA. Got it? And I'm gonna give you what it means, but I want you to abbreviate this one. CC Charlie Apple. Got it? All right, this is called, and I'm just going to give you the breakdown so you don't have to write this down, central centrifugal psychiatrical alopecia. And that's a long word, right? And I'm not trying to get y'all to write that, but this is what it remembers. Remember this. This is where scarring tissue comes from. And this is where sometimes people will get scars in their scalp, and this can cause permanent, issues. That's where we treat it with things like the vitamin E and the aloe vera and things like that, because that can be very very damaging in a lot of ways, where it just will not grow, and that's scarring. Just remember, CCCA deals with scarring tissue alopecia. Got it? All right. Next one. Which numbers you got? How many are counting? Who's counting?
8.
All right. So this is number 9. Number 9. Frontal fibrosing alopecia. And I'll spell that. Frontal tells you where it's talking about, right? Front of the head. Fibrosing was F-I-B as in boy, R-O-S-I-N-G. That deals with the sideburns, the frontal part of the head, and this affects more women dealing with menopause. Got it? But it can affect men also. Men are affected also. This is actually dealing with receding hair. If you see men with their hair going way back like here, you ever see what's his name on the news? Lester Holt. You see his hair going like this, way back here. Yep. That's what that is. That's called frontal fibrosing alopecia. Got it? All right. All right, two more. Traction alopecia. Now, you know what this one is. A lot of sisters, y'all know what I'm talking about this. Brothers, too. And this is strain or stress on the hair roots from things like tight braids, dreadlocks, ponytails, or chemical relaxers can cause traction alopecia. A lot of people didn't know that chemical relaxers can do this also. Absolutely. It can cause traction alopecia, and it can weaken the hair, and it can cause permanent. It can cause permanent hair loss. Pulls hair out of the scalp. That's what happens. Sometimes you got to keep it tight, y'all. Got to keep it tight. All right, and then the last one, number 11, is chemotherapy-induced alopecia. And that, of course, comes from the chemicals used in therapy, which, of course, destroys the immune system and the different parts of the body and the roots of the hair. It goes after the hair cells. And that's what you have. And hair should come back, though, when it comes with chemotherapy, with proper diet and proper administration of herbal regimens. Usually we can help you to regenerate that back. Okay, so that does come back. All right, y'all got them all 11. All right, and this is one for the keeping. The keeping.
Just spell alopecia for me, please.
Okay. ALO. P is in boy. P is in Paul. ECIA.
Okay, I had most of it right.
Alopecia, right. Areata, Areata. So every one of them is a form of alopecia areata, but just at the end goes that name, like the totalis, the universalis, all the different diffuse, all those.
Oh, no.
No, don't say you reversed it.
No.
You didn't delete it. No, you didn't.
Just deleted it somehow. Oh shoot.
Oh no.
No. Looks like I lost. Oh goodness.
You playing with me, ain't you?
You know I'm not playing with you. Somebody, please, somebody who got it.
Isn't it recording?
It's recording. Yes, we are recording. So you can always go back to this. Now, I want everyone to, if you are listening for the very first time, you can go to Dr. Paul Herbs, and this is the Facebook account, of course, Dr. Paul's Holistic Health Network. That's on Facebook. You do have to go in and just send me a notice, and we'll bring you into the private chat room, or actually it's a private network, and then I'll bring you in. If it doesn't automatically, all you got to do is answer the 2 questions. Just like, what's your goal, and do you want to transform your renewing in your mind, and you automatically go in. But some people don't answer the questions, and that's why you're waiting. So make sure if you answer the 2 questions, you go right in, and you can get all of the back shows from the Family Tree, WURD on Saturday morning with my show on the Saturday morning, and also the Green Hour. All right, family?
Only for Facebook accounts?
Yes. Only on Facebook platform. Yeah, we have to select only one platform. If you don't have someone that does it, find someone that does. Got it?
Okay.
Thank you.
Dr. Paul, I got some good news for you, man.
Thank you.
Our long lost friend, Apostle Jeremiah Cummings, is online with us tonight.
Hey, Jeremiah, where is he?
Hey, man.
He's on the second page.
Apostle, there he is.
Yeah.
How you doing, Apostle?
Ladies
I'm
and
doing
gentlemen,
wonderful, and
if you don't know
it's
me
good
by
to
now,
see you
Jerry Cummings
again.
with
You
Teddy
know, I'm
Pendergrass and the Blue Notes.
I'm long lost. I'm not long lost.
Hey, Jeremiah, it is good to see you, man. If y'all don't know Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, that face looks familiar up there. And he's a part of that Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
If you don't know,
Jerry come. Go ahead, Prophetess. I hear you. Go ahead, Prophetess.
All right now.
Here's wake up everybody right here.
Also, it's good to see you, man. You know what? I was telling your story just the other day when you shared with me a long time ago. You know, we did a project in the studio, and you told me a story one time that was so funny. And you said, man, you know, when I was singing with Harold Melvin and the Blue with Teddy, and you said y'all was in bad luck. You said you so believing in the word of God that everything come out your mouth is what you put out there. And you said you was saying good luck is what you got. Is what you got.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. That was good, man. So what's been up, man?
Well, I had wanted to ask, you know, Apostle Richie Hosley. I want to thank him. He's my best friend. I want to thank him for inviting me to this session. And I had sent Prophetess Lisa a question about Beyond Meat burgers and sausages and all of that. And I asked the question, was that a good meat replacement? Beyond Meat products.
Yeah, actually, it falls short right where they started to add the canola oils with it. Canola oil is a synthetic, and that synthetic is one of the worst synthetics that causes absolutely cholesterol issues. If you're going to get on a cholesterol statin, that'll put you on there. So they do have some things. There are GMO, non-genetically modified versions of the plant-based burgers. I would say try to go towards those, like the black bean burgers, things like that. But that genetically modified meat, you got to be, well, it's not non-genetically modified, but sometimes it has canola oil in it. So you got to watch canola oil wherever it appears in anything. That's what's causing a lot of people's blood pressure problems to go a little wacky. Because there's no canola tree somewhere. There's no such thing as canola. It's not a controller. Yeah. So,
but my understanding is that it does come from a vegetable that's called rape.
Right.
It's done in the western part of West Africa.
Right, and that's the sad thing, Neetha, is that they got the great stuff, but as soon as you add the canola, you just destroyed it. You just messed it up. I said, man, if you just got it without the canola oil, you would be doing excellent. But they've actually done that. So there may be, because there has been an outpouring of people making this aware, and they may be coming out with a different variation of that. So the way we can go to a website, there is a website called nongmoproject.org. Go to that website, nongmoproject.org, and that has a website of all the foods that are, tested, and they can give you an insight on some of those products that may be better for you. All right?
All right. Great.
Good seeing you, man.
Recently, I went up to Whole Foods.
Right. I'm getting ready to do this, Dad.
Whole Foods. I went to Trader Joe's, and 95% of that stuff that they had labeled organic was full of preservatives, sugars, and salt. I walked in there with 2 bags. There was absolutely nothing in those grocery stores for me. Nothing.
Yeah. They're not going to tell us that. Yep.
They have organic all over it.
Yeah. Causes a lot of.
This is Neetha, Dr. Paul. Just want to say hello to Apostle Cummings. It was under not good circumstances, but Harold Melvin was my patient back in the day.
All right.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
Good. And when you're talking about the lady who called about bed sores, because I'm a wound consultant, and I went out to see him because he did have as we call them, pressure sores, no longer bed sores.
Okay. Yeah, pressure sores. Yeah.
Yeah, they go by pressure. So I did have an opportunity to meet him.
All right. Excellent.
Love their music.
Yes, loved it. Yes.
Dr. Paul and Prophetess, this is Mike Baker. I put my notes about the alopecia in your link there. Maybe that'll
I got
it.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
You saved the day, Mike.
Yeah, Neetha and Mike saved the day.
Thank you, Neetha. Yes,
I have one question.
Okay.
I bought some MSM, and can you verify? They're saying that MSM can cause the enlargement of women's breasts, and I don't need another cup.
Well, Judith, whatever study you got, I think most people ain't got that one because
I do.
I would say this. I would take that as a grain of salt. I would not believe that. See, what MSM is this organic sulfur. That's all it is. It's organic sulfur. Same things that are found in its purest form. Sulfur actually cleans all the waste debris out of cells. So just like anything that eats has a bowel movement, right? Anything eats defecates, right? So cells build up debris also. And that debris has a lot to do with things like you're eating, junk foods, all this stuff. And they harbor just like we do in our bodies. So what we do is the sulfur actually cleans that out. Now they're wide open to receive whatever you're doing. So it actually increases circulation. So that may have been something that people noticed that, wow, maybe their breast maybe got bigger because it increased circulation. I'm just taking an educated understanding and guess on that one.
Right.
Because
now,
that's what it does. Mm-hmm.
I'm on your protocol, and I just need to know, can I take that along with the protocol that I'm on?
Sure. MSM always goes after. It pushes. Usually it's like 30 minutes to an hour after you've taken the green drink because it pushes in. It makes sure that green drink goes into the system. The only remember I said there's only one disclaimer. Remember, You know, some people will have a little drink now and then on the side, and that's okay. But remember, if you're doing an MSM cleanse, watch your alcohol. Because remember, I just told you, all the cells are wide open. And if you have a little, 2, 3, 4 drink minimum, 1 drink, you're going to be under the table. You got it? Because you
I won't go that way.
you're wide open, okay? That's the
Yeah, I
only
got you.
disclaimer whenever people do that. And just an understanding, okay?
Thank you
How
so
does
much,
that apply
Dr.
to
Paul.
marijuana, Dr. Paul?
What was that?
How does that
Okay,
apply
ladies
to
and gentlemen,
marijuana?
it is 9:05. And
How does that
has
apply?
to go because
How does that apply
has
to
to go.
marijuana?
Yes. All right. Well, she said, what does that apply to marijuana?
How does it apply to marijuana? And MSN, marijuana, MSM.
Well, remember, it's going to clean out the system. That's what MSM is also good for former smokers. It pulls the tar out of your system. You know, people will think that, you know, people who said, I haven't smoked in 20 years. Got it? But as soon as they start taking that MSM, they start coughing up all that black tar coming out of their lungs.
Geez.
Absolutely. That's what it does. That's what it does. MSM is powerful. It's powerful. It cleans out every cell, and that stuff lays dormant in your lymphatic system and in your lungs. So what a great detox for a former smoker. Mm-hmm. Excellent.
So you shouldn't take your other supplements?
What was that? I missed that.
Can you take it along with your other supplements?
Sure. Remember, it's pushed in. You push it in. So you always take it separate. MSM pushes into the system. So you would take it after you would take a green drink or something like that, and whatever you want to push it in. Actually, it has an effect of like the DMSO. One day I'm going to talk about DMSO. DMSO is a form of when you put whatever the medicine is, you can put it on top of it and it pushes it right into the skin. The key to the NFL. So I'll go into that in a little bit. That's a little bit more complex though.
So you
All right.
put it in your green drink. I put it in my green
Sure,
drink.
you can put it in the green drink if you want to. Some people put it in the green drink. Some people can take it in the green drink. That's
I
okay.
just take it in water afterwards.
Yep. Sometimes you can take it afterward. I recommend afterwards, but some
Yes.
people do put it in the green drink, and there's no wrong. There's nothing wrong. Everybody's correct. Okay. All right. Neetha, did you have another question up there?
I did, but if you want to get to it next week, because I want to respect your time, but I want you to go into next week the difference between farm raised and then wild caught.
That sounds good.
That certainly is.
Y'all want to drink? Y'all want to eat some fish right now, don't y'all? Can't do it. It's past 7 o'clock. Y'all go to
Yes, it is
bed.
9 o'clock. Good night. Good night, everyone.
See, y'all got excited. See, y'all like y'all been eating the whole time y'all been on though, right? I know. Y'all been nibbling and grazing. I know. All right, all right, family. We gotta wrap it up. I know we didn't get to Charlotte and then Flo. I hope you got that information there, Flo. And I think we got the Sheila and Judith. I got you, Sydney, Nicole. No, who else is that? Ray. We'll get you next week. All right, we'll put you at
And
the
we're gonna
top of the
talk about
list.
toothpaste next week. So y'all remind me about all y'all who had that toothpaste question.
Yeah, we got to get some good toothpaste.
Yes,
You know,
we got some good
toothpaste. The key with toothpaste is to make sure what no
fluoride.
No
fluoride. That's the biggest one right there. Because why? Because fluoride is what?
A byproduct of aluminum.
A byproduct of aluminum. Yes. No fluoride treatments either. You know, we say no fluoride treatments because when you start to now expose that can cause memory issues. A lot of people are having memory issues from that very thing. Got it? So keep that in mind, all right? All right, we got to wrap it up, y'all. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. I want to thank Prophetess over there. Let's give Prophetess a hand for managing things. He cracked the whip over there. She keeping everybody in shape. And
Happy Easter, everybody.
Yes,
Happy
yes.
Resurrection.
Happy
Passover.
Sunday. Yes, yes.
Shabbat shalom to all of you.
Yes, and I want to say also, family, we're doing this. Part 2 is tomorrow.
That's right.
And we got Reverend Ricky Halsley on here and Prophetess and the whole entire Eagles Nest. We're going to be on there. Let's put it in the chat. Y'all can join us tomorrow. It starts at 7:30, right? 7:30.
Yes.
come on in and free will offering event, and we can ask the questions tomorrow if y'all want to. How's that sound?
That's right.
All right, family. All right, everybody look good. In the back, y'all can come on, Marcy.
Where's
Marcy? We got Marcy.
Here I am.
All right, you got Marcy down there. All right. I want you to be encouraged, family. Remember, if you're breathing, you get a shot. All right. Also, make sure you can also get this chat. Just give a shout, which is Dr. Paul at drpaul.com. All right, and we can make sure you get it. You got it in the chat. I don't even know why I talk to this stuff. And if you want to make a free will offering tonight, that is what? It's in the chat. I gotta say it for the folks on the radio. I promise you making this one easy to me. All right, that's the $ Dr. Paul HOP. Got it? All right, family. I love y'all. And thank you for tuning in to the family tree. All right, tap it out. Marcy said tap it out. Tap it out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Tap and breathe. Tap. Come on down. Tap. I see you, Kamara. Tap. Come on down. Come on. Get your room. Circulation. That make you look good, by the way. Come on down. Right here. Tap. Right under here. That's K27. That's what? Kidneys. Good. Come on down. Thymus. Right here. That's your self-defense right there. That's your immune system. Tap. That's right. Tap. Anybody with cancer, that's their move. Tap, and breathe and relax. Blow it out. Come on down. To the right. What's on the right? Liver. And what else? The gallbladder, right. All right, on the left. What's that? What? Pancreas and what? And spleen. Woo! All right, breathe, and up, and out. Breathe in, and out. Good. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come on, and you're gonna clap. Rub it together. Come on. Wake up, Marcy. Come on, don't fall asleep now, Marcy. I'm past my bedtime. All right. Ray together. Come on, Ray. Come on, Sydney. Rub it together. Fast. Get that heat going. Y'all feel that heat? That's your energy, right? Good. Put it all over you. That's right. Like a bath. Ooh. Y'all so dramatic. Rub it.
Good night.
Rub it all over. Ooh. See, you call the energy bath. This is called the energy bath. Good. Come on, Kim. You can do this. Come on, Kim. Listen to them. Kim. Come on. See, the music perfect. See? Rub it in. All right. Put it on one more time. Clap. And hold. And then feel that top one and leave the bottom of them on. You feel that ball getting bigger, isn't it? Oh, that's your energy. Take all that energy, put it over your body, and I'm done. God bless y'all. May God keep y'all. And we'll see you next week on the family tree. All right. Come on, dance it out. Everybody dance it out. Go ahead, y'all. Come on. Come on. Go ahead, Joanne. I see you. Joyce. Y'all having too much fun. Y'all jamming out here. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead, Ray. All right, Paso. We'll talk, man. Thank you, bro.
I had a bad idea.
All right, all right. All right. All right, we're going to count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good night.
Happy resurrection. Be safe, family. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Thank you, Dr. Paul.
Happy Resurrection Sunday. That's
everyone.
right. God bless y'all.
Good night. God bless y'all. Dr. Paul, God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you. Night, night. All right.
I love that music. 'Cause I don't like music, but I want to be safe.
All right, all right.